continuing up the route we call 16. The Lakes District is in the rear view, and coastal mountains, well, they're on the horizon. All sorts of adventures lie ahead, from jet boats and ghost towns to lava beds and rare local delicacies. Out here, the mountains are tall, the history's rich, and the people, well, they just want to see to it that you're having a good time.
Rob is an endless book of knowledge.
We were warned that he was a walking encyclopedia.
Crocodile Dundee of Canada.
He was like part tour guide, part comedian.
I've been on boats before, but I never knew what to expect when it came to a jet boat. And that thing cruises, man. We were doing 60 kilometers an hour. We went through some canyon areas that scared the shit out of me, and he was showing off. He was showing his skills, and I was like, this dude rules.
I mean, he was doing some serious turns. We went through maybe a 12-foot wide little canyon, sideways somehow.
You don't really see much on either side, and Rob just pulls over and we start walking out up this hill, like climbing rocks and trees, and then we wind up at this abandoned airstrip just to have the mountains around you, and then the forest, and then just that wide open field. It was just so cool.
We walked through Doreen, checked out the general store, which was actually like City Hall.
Just being able to like walk around and check out the buildings and see, kind of a glimpse into the way people lived.
It's just mind-blowing that people either stern-wheeled out there or took the train out there or hiked from a bordering community.
When we were told what we were doing on this trip, I thought it was all bullshit. Rainforest, lava beds from a volcano. I heard what I was being told, but I didn't actually believe it. So when we first rode through those lava beds, I honestly felt like I was on a different planet.
It's like riding a motorcycle on Mars, Like it's just crazy, and that's what it felt like.
The lava beds were insane to me. It's miles of just broken rock.
When you go to Bonneville, it's a strange place. It's just white forever. This was rocks of lava, just black and gray, and had moss on it just forever. And the roads, they're super open and wide. It was probably one of the funnest days, and the skies were just super big that day, so it was a lot of fun.
When you start to make your way up this valley, you begin to get a sense that perhaps there's more to learn from this life. Maybe it's the mountains or the mighty Ness River. But if I had to guess, it might just be the people. The Nisga have lived in this valley for tens of thousands of years. So you could say they might have a thing or two to teach us all.
Calvin is a master wood carver.
That guy is very passionate about what he does. You can't create a business on taking in people's personal information and stories and create art for it and just expect a paycheck. Like, that is something serious, that you're holding on to all this information and people are trusting you with it and you're turning it into artwork for them.
You could tell he has so much passion about what he does and his craft and his culture and the community. And I really, really related to that and kind of my life and what motorcycling does for me as a passion, and how I wouldn't appreciate it if I didn't go through all those hard things or all those bad days.
He took patience and time to really methodically design what he did and then lay it out on wood and then carve it, and it takes months, sometimes years for some pieces. It's hand in hand with motorcycles. Riding to Gingolx was absolutely insanity. It's just mind-blowing The curves, I could have carved those all day long.
The most beautiful ride I've ever been on in my life. I was literally like screaming at the top of my lungs in my helmet.
I've never ridden a road like that before.
As much as I could possibly soak it into my brain and remember the shapes of the mountains and the smell of the air and how close you could get to the rock face next to you.
It was just like, where are we gonna end up? Like I had no clue where we were going, and it was just so beautiful. And then we end up in this very little town, and we ate at the most amazing seafood place with the sweetest woman named Bonnie.
Bonnie is the warmest, cutest woman I've ever met. She loves what she's doing. She loved that we were there to visit her.
Bonnie came up and was telling me about how they prep their fish and how they prep their meats. And she said something about sea lion. And I asked her, do you have any sea lion here? And she says, oh, yes. So I asked her, can we get some? She says, yeah, oh, yeah. But she went inside and she cooked it up and brought it out, this huge bowl of sea lion body, smoked sea lion in like a broth.
We start eating it. It's a delicacy of awesomeness.
And then she brought out the flippers, and it's just basically blubber, fat.
And that was a little bit tough to swallow. She said that was the rare delicacy, and I could see why. It tastes like you're trying to swallow your own tongue. So I would not recommend the flipper of the sea lion, but the rest of the sea lion is very good.
I don't care if you're building a custom sportster, carving a mask, or cooking a meal for new friends. If you're passionate about what you're doing, and passionate about the place you're doing it in, well, if you ask me, that's about the best damn feeling you could ask for. And maybe that's what makes this place one for the books.